themselves. But just to be sure, ladies, I hit the weight room today. I'm not sure about you guys.
Definitely not. There is one starting lineup change that's important. Christy Tolliver back in the starting lineup for Washington.
Yeah, keeping in mind that she missed about 5 or 6 weeks to end the regular season with an MCL sprain and a bone bruise. But Mike Thibault inserting Tolliver, the only player on this team to have ever won a WNBA championship, back into that starting lineup.
Won that with the Los Angeles Sparks a few years ago. Cam Bayes jumping against Latoya Sanders, who is listed at 6'3". Might be closer to 6'2", and we are underway. Washington 1 win away from their second straight finals appearance. Wilson might have gotten away with a hop there. Tolliver in the starting lineup, and this shifts Elena Deladon to a different position.
It does. It puts Elena Deladon at the 4 spot. Emma Miesemann will be coming off of the bench, and what that means is Deladon will be guarded by a post in most situations more often than she was in the first few games by a big.
Cam Bayes, a post, got a hand on Christy Tolliver's shot, and Liz breaks out in a big smile. Cam Bayes quickly doubled down by Atkins. Jackie Young had 3 threes in game 3. Liz with the turnaround miss.
And that's great defense by Latoya Sanders, because she forced Liz Cambage to take that shot outside of the paint. That's what Mike Thibault wants to see. Don't let her get prime-time position with 2 feet in the lane.
She only missed 1 shot in the paint in game 3. Deladon has 1 skim out. Kelsey Plum, Brian Agler talked about it. Kelsey Plum has been a difference maker for Vegas in the playoffs.
And when she's hitting that shot, it's going to open up her ability to get the post involved, which she did so well in game 3. And Plum is going to challenge Christy Tolliver defensively. They understand that she is not at 100%, so Plum is going to try to test that.
Tolliver up and down, unsure, as she went up for the shot.
Not so great of a start for Christy Tolliver, but a really good one here for Kelsey Plum. Off of the bounce and gets that one to go. She is playing with so much confidence right now.
Her teammates are talking about playoff Kelsey and how good she has been, and there's a foul on Tolliver, who gave Plum a little bit of a push.
Be interesting to see how Tolliver responds to getting the start after coming off of the bench to start the playoffs.
Kelsey Plum starting the second half against Chicago in that thrilling come-from-behind win to get to the semifinals, and she has had 9, 10, and 9 assists respectively in the first 3 games of this series at the point. Jackie Young, a little bit off, but Cam Bayes adds space. And a rare miss in the paint for Liz, who was 0 for 2 from the floor. Tasha Cloud kicks it out. Sanders finds herself open and hits it. And one of the complaints that Mike Thibault, the head coach for Washington, had is that they passed up shots like that in game 3.
And the shots that Sanders did take, she missed, unlike game 2, where it seemed like she was making everything.
Washington much more of a jump shooting relying team than Las Vegas. And another whistle underneath. Call coming against Washington. Mai Forsberg, Mike Price, and Byron Jarrett, our officials tonight. Latoya Sanders picks up her first foul for the Mystics. Second team foul. Plum. More contact underneath, and this time it's going to go against Cam Bayes.
And that's something we'll be keeping our eyes on throughout this game, is the battle in the post, which got kind of ugly in game 3 for position. Look at the left side of your screen. Liz Cambage definitely used that right arm to displace the defender. You cannot move the defender with any part of your body, and she caused that fall by Sanders.
First foul on Cam Bayes, who always lets her emotions out. One of the most quotable players in the history of this league. Atkins has been cold in this series.
I think it could be a good change for Atkins to have Christy Tolliver in the lineup, because she has had to be that second go-to guard. Keep in mind, she's only a second-year player, Pam, even though she's really shown up in some big minutes.
Atkins. Young gets the McBride miss. Atkins just 4 of 18 from the floor so far in the series for Washington. Shot clock at 5 for Plum, who's doubled, chased by Sanders. How did that pass get through to McBride? Cambage cleans up.
And no box out by Washington.
Natasha Cloud got off to a terrific start in this series, averaging just under 7 assists per game. Also saw her shot go south on Sunday. Sanders with the mismatch kicks it out to Deladon, and that's a great sign for Washington.
And that's an outstanding pass by LaToya Sanders. One thing Vegas is doing defensively is they're trying to bait Washington into being a back-to-the-basket post team by guarding the post with their guards. They can't fall for it. That's not their game.
It certainly is not their game. We mentioned how good they are. In fact, they led the league in threes per game. Very much relying on the jump shot. Deladon, an outstanding shooter, steps back from Liz and buries it.
On at the 4 spot, Deladon is going to find herself in those positions more often with a bigger post guarding her. And expect Washington to run some plays where they get the switch for Cambage onto Elena Deladon.
Another one of the advantages with Tolliver in the lineup, moving Elena over to that space. And when Cambage backs you down, she usually is going to win. Liz at 6'8", her first year in Las Vegas. Tolliver gets it over to Sanders, and now with the switch, Cambage is guarding her. Little no look to Deladon, who is on fire.
And that's what you do get with Christy Tolliver in the lineup, is that she is such a great passer, sees the floor so well. Excellent at reading the defense.
She averaged 6 assists per game, which was among the league leaders when she got hurt. Ariel Atkins with the foul and then crashes hard.
Elena Deladon has had to work really hard for shots in the first 3 games of this series. But right here, excellent passing by the Washington Mystics. This is what you're used to seeing from them. And with this starting at the 4 spot for Elena Deladon, she's in more positions where she's got 4s and 5s instead of a Jackie Young guarding her. And she can create space with her guard-like skill on that 6'5" frame.
Young hits the free throw after being fouled by Atkins. Deladon has hit both of her threes tonight. MVP, almost unanimous. There were 2 votes for Courtney Vandersloot. The other panel went with Elena Deladon, who won the award for the 2nd time in her career. It's an 8-0 Elena Deladon run for Washington. Scoring their last 8. Now she's guarded by Asia.
And that's another thing, that she's going to make Asia Wilson really have to work on defense. And what a defensive stand there by Wilson.
Nicely done with the block. And then Young misses. Deladon, outstanding rebounder this year, leading the team at just under 8.5 per game during the regular season. Got it. Now, boy, Deladon by herself just for an instant, but instead Tolliver took the shot with no rebounders underneath. Kayla McBride. Puts Vegas on top with her 3. Emma Miesemann coming to the scorer's table to check in for Washington. Sanders, that's an advantageous matchup.
Yeah, and those were the situations that Washington found themselves in more often. And mostly with the 3 players switching by Vegas. Vegas has a lot of switching defensively, and they're trying to force Washington to become a post team.
Atkins doubling down quickly on Cambage.
Another really good defensive stance there by Sanders.
Cloud pulls up over McBride and misses badly. Plum answers.
Plum's not missing, though.
No.
Playoff Plum is not missing, though.
#1 overall pick a couple of seasons ago, really flourishing now, playing the point for the first time this year. Sanders missed just about everything for Washington. Timeout on the floor. Vegas up 2 in a must-win situation to send us back to DC. Las Vegas has an early 2-point lead here. Washington, after steamrolling in the first couple of games, had all their scoring down in game 3, in which they lost. Natasha Cloud, the point guard, here now with Kim Adams.
Natasha, you guys are looking to rebound from an uncharacteristic loss. What needs to be different about the execution tonight?
Playing our game, dictating the game, dictating the tempo of the game, being able to get stops on the other end of the floor, and then convert on the offensive end. We're best when we're in transition, not necessarily when we're in sets. They're big, they crowd up the paint, so just dictating ourselves.
Christy Tolliver in the starting lineup for the first time this playoffs. What does she add to the offensive rhythm that you guys are trying to achieve?
Instant offense. Christy's another point guard on the floor. She pushes the ball, pushes the pace, can extend, attack their bigs from three-point line, get to the basket. She's just a general on the floor.
Thank you, Natasha.
Washington with 5 made field goals. They have 5 assists on those. Emma Miesemann is in the game for the first time for Washington. Started earlier in this series, and De'Erica Hamby, the league's 6th Woman of the Year, announces her presence with authority by getting a bucket.
Most people would call this a small lineup for Vegas because there's no Liz Cambage, but Tamara Young's a 6-footer, Hamby's a 6-footer. 6'3", excuse me, Hamby.
Miesemann coming in for Latoya Sanders. And we have some NBA guys in the building tonight.
Yeah, quite a few. King James is in the house.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Anthony Davis sitting next to him. Both a lot of WNBA respect and fans for these NBA stars.
Yeah, supportive. You like to see that. Hamby, aggressive early.
Las Vegas on an 11-2 run to go up by a half a dozen. Miesemann playing with Tolliver, who replaced her in the starting lineup tonight. Atkins still ice cold. But then gets the steal. That's one of the things that's in her bag of tricks. Atkins on the run. 6th in the league in steals this year. Turn that into 2. Hamby left alone momentarily before Atkins closed out. Tamara Young, the wily veteran.
Ariel Atkins challenging Tamara Young to make them pay, knocking down that shot, and she answered.
Young in her 12th year in the league, out of James Madison. Miesemann.
And Washington's getting some wide open looks, not hitting them.
McBride, just off the rim. And another board, and another foul on Washington. Elena Deladon fouled Wilson. First one on Deladon, wearing the mask because she broke her nose against Los Angeles back in early July. Missed a couple of games, including a game against Las Vegas, the only game that Vegas beat Washington during the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Now, if Las Vegas wins tonight, the series shifts back to Washington. Thursday night's decisive Game 5 will be on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern Time. Finals Game 1 Sunday. Connecticut will either host Las Vegas or be in Washington.
We mentioned this earlier, but Elena Deladon, the MVP, has had to work really hard for shots, and you credit the Vegas defense, but early in this game, she's got some better looks at that 4 position, more space. She keeps talking about space, well, she's been getting some.
Hamby is all over Tolliver. Over to Miesemann. Deladon, another one. She's 3 for 3 from distance.
Great passing.
And that's what they talked about that they didn't do, particularly in Game 3, is moving the ball, getting the ball, not letting it stick on one side of the court.
Yeah, I mean, and also trying to get a piece of the paint. Right here off of the bounce, Tolliver's going to get a handoff, and she looks to drive, at least force the Vegas defense to have to rotate. And beautiful extra pass by an underrated passer at Emma Miesemann.
Deladon already into double figures with 11 points to match her jersey number. Young, that's a tough shot over Deladon. Tamara's 2 for 2. Vegas has made 5 of their last 6 shots after they missed 10 of their first 14, and Tolliver missed that badly. bone bruise and a strained MCL. That's why she's got the brace on the right knee. Missed 5 weeks. Tamara Young is feeling it.
Can't be stopped. That stop and pop is going for Tamara Young. No answers defensively from Washington, and not great offense from them either.
9-point lead, biggest of the night for the Aces. Deladon had it taken away by Hamby, who looked at the clock and almost heaped up another one.
For the first time, right?
The Erica Hamby coming in and bringing some energy to this Vegas squad. They lead after 1.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. And the new toasted cheddar chalupa at Taco Bell.
Back to Las Vegas, joined by Washington head coach Mike Thibault. Coach, not as strong of a start for Wilson and Cambage, but they're getting scoring from everyone. What do you need to tighten up defensively?
Well, we let the ball get to the middle of the floor 3 straight times with Tamara Young. I thought we passed up open shots early in the game. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why we're passing up shots.
And Elena really the only one who's not passing them up. But how can you get your other players involved offensively?
I mean, they got to shoot the open ones. I mean, we've drawn up plays where they're wide open. You can't pass them up. I don't know. I can't shoot it for them.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
And I would agree with Mike Thibault. I mean, it is good to move the ball and be a passing team, but you got to rely on what's got you here. And in their practice, Washington worked on them, their offense, their feel on that end of the floor.
Niesman got a hand on that plum shot. Las Vegas closed out the first quarter on a 19-7 run, and now Mike Price and Mike Forsberg discussing whether or not it was just an old-fashioned air ball.
And I think we're going to see more of this size switching onto Plum to take away her vision, to contest shots. And it was hard to tell if she got a finger on that.
They called it an air ball. Vegas holds on to it.
Our truck says she did, which I wasn't watching the replay as closely as they are, and they see better than me, so we trust you.
Christy Tolliver called for a little bit of a bear hug on Plum, and Christy goes out. Christy started the game tonight. She is 0 for 3, missing both of her 3-point attempts as she works her way back from the knee injury.
Well, and I knew that coming into this game that the defense that she would have to play on Plum would wear her out. Keep in mind, she does not have her conditioning back yet.
Aerial Powers took the ball away from De'Erica Hamby, which is a feat unto itself. Powers gives his team instant energy off the bench. Atkins still can't hit anything. But Niesman gives him an extra chance. Deladon on the bench to start the second quarter. Powers hits it. Big shot. Elena Deladon said of Aerial Powers, she is a downright dog.
That's right. That's a compliment. She knows that when Powers is in the game, she is going to force the issue off of the bounce. She's very explosive. And that's a shot that really hurt Washington in the last game, and that's handy from long range. She was not hitting that in game 1 and 2. You were able to leave her and double down, but it's been working for her.
Niesman off glass, can't hit it.
But off balance is because shooting was not the first thought in her mind, and I'm with Mike Thibault. I don't know why.
Ball goes back to Washington. Tiana Hawkins in the game. Mike Thibault trying some different combinations. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, who usually does not get a lot of playing time, comes into the game.
Yeah, Mike Thibault's trying to get a spark right now. His team just does not look like itself. They shook up the starting lineup, and they just kind of looked like they were slow to begin.
This is a team that won 26 games during the regular season. #1 overall seed. And a whistle away from the basket. It's going to be a 3-second defensive issue for Las Vegas. So Hawkins gets to shoot the free throw.
Well, and Mike Thibault is looking at Vegas, and he's saying, look at what they've gotten off of their bench from Tamara Young. And look at what they've gotten from Hamby. Those are additional contributions because Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson didn't start out shooting the ball extremely well, and so he has options. And Mike Tebow's trying to figure out what his are, and Aerial Powers is at least off to a good start here.
Vegas is up by 7, even though Cambage and Wilson have only combined for 6 points. Wilson, in fact, has not hit a field goal yet. Cambage back into the game. Asia on the bench. Cloud tried to go cross court. McBride waited. Ball fake. And she was fouled. So turnovers. Again, Washington was a team that had the fewest turnovers in the league, set a WNBA single season record for the best assist to turnover ratio. Turnovers really hurt them in game 2, and that was a costly one as well. Or game 3, excuse me. Games 1 and 2, they only had 6 apiece.
And they're live ball turnovers that hurt them. I mean, when Vegas can force the turnover and then get out and run. But I thought Cloud had a drive to the rim and just, you got to go at Liz Cambage sometimes.
For the latest on all things WNBA playoffs, including scores, news, and highlights, get the WNBA app. Download for free today from your app store. Walker Kimbrough puts McBride on the line, who hits them both. Keeping Las Vegas off the free throw line is another priority for Mike Tebow. They are 6 for 6 from the line tonight. Lead back up to 9. Cloud gets a good look, a little bit too strong. Plum. Celadon will come in for Washington. First time we've seen her since the first quarter. Wnba guarded by Hawkins, who got a hand in. Tasha Cloud is the only starter out on the floor right now for Washington. Powers thought about it and then hit it.
Boy, what a punch from Powers. And that comment by Elena Deladon that says she's a dog, she's got a fearlessness in her that I don't really see in the rest of her team right now.
Now a foul as Cambage tried to drive to the basket. And Emma Mieseman, who very rarely gets upset, was showing Mike Price, the official, that she was not happy about Cambage's forearm on that play. Here is the MVP back in the game. Emma's got 2 fouls for Washington. LeBron's won some MVPs back in the day.
Yeah, you know, he knows what it's like to be the GOAT.
Watching Deladon, who had just a spectacular season. McBride with the miss. Cambage couldn't get it. Great hustle by Cloud.
Washington's got to find a way to capitalize and transition offensively before Vegas could get back and get their defense set. They're not really attacking. And that's why they've only shot 1 free throw in this game.
Sanders takes it up over Tamara Young, so Sanders off to a good start. She has a half a dozen points. Cambage, and 1.
And those are the fouls that Mike Tebow said we have got to cut down on. He said, if you're going to foul the post, don't let them make it and get a chance for a 3-point play. Sanders bodying up, and then she was not vertical. And if you're not straight up and there's contact made, the officials are going to call that on a defensive foul.
So Las Vegas in the bonus for the rest of this half. Fouls are 9 called against Washington, just 1 called against the Aces. And that was on Cambage.
See how they're taking away the paint from Cloud? No driving angles.
Cloud really hurt them the first couple of games getting into the paint. Tamara Young gets the screen from Cambage. Hamby got Deladon up in the air, floated, and a charge.
Great defensive play by Aerial Powers, giving her team a punch.
Timeout in Vegas.
Well, in game 3, the Las Vegas Aces relied so heavily on A'ja Wilson and Liz Cambage, but everyone stepping up today around those two players. Kelsey Plum hit the outside shot. Tamara Young has the ability to get to the middle of the floor, and that tough jump shot. And it's just been all-around contributions. The 6th Woman of the Year. She does this for a living off of the pine, giving Vegas another punch, and then McBride doing what she came to do, and that's knock down the long ball.
Cambage and Wilson doing most of the damage in game 3. And their field goal percentage and points are down in this one, but as you mentioned, it's been the supplementary players, if you will, coming in and getting the job done. Oliver drew the foul on Plum. That is the first offensive foul called against Las Vegas in this game. The other 2 against him were offensive fouls.
And I just think Washington has to be willing to do that on more possessions. Put the ball on the deck, get to the paint. That's how you get defensive rotations. That's how you get the ball moving, and utilizing both sides of the floor.
If there's a game 5, it'll be on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Thursday night, as well as the ESPN app. The Connecticut Sun, who swept the Sparks, will play the winner of this series coming up on Sunday. Tolliver gets them both. Washington set a WNBA record for the 2nd straight year in team free throw percentage, 87.5%. Wnba works well on the baseline.
And in this lineup, Ariel Powers having to guard Wnba at the 3, but Wnba is a true post player, so she knows how to back you down.
Beige out on Tolliver. He continues to fire away.
She just has no lift on that shot. You can tell her legs not under her with that knee injury.
Tolliver 0 for 4 from the floor tonight. Plum with another 3, her 2nd of the night. And it's a 10-point lead, largest of the game for the Aces. Tolliver finally gets a shot to fall, and it might have been her most difficult. Beige working against Sanders. Good play by Powers to stick a hand in. That's a jump ball. Ariel Powers got that going.
And then Sanders ties it up.
Beige.
And it doesn't look like Powers was looking forward to her being the other jumper on that jump ball. You're right, Pam. Great job by Powers to dig in, and then Sanders follows up. They are fighting and doing everything they can to keep Cambage out of the middle. One thing we knew about this Washington team, as great as they've been this year, is that teams that have great size could be a problem. I mean, when your starting center is 6'2", and you got to play 6'8", it's not easy.
They lost twice to Phoenix, who of course has Brittany Griner. One of those games, however, Deladon did not play because of her broken nose. Sanders left wide open. They need her to hit those.
And I'm surprised she didn't drive.
Yeah, she had a lot of space. Now Liz playing guard in her mind.
She likes to do that.
Yeah. One of the more interesting people we've ever come across in this game, both on and off the court. Deladon got space and was able to beat Wnba.
Like only she can do.
She's 5 of 7 from the floor, excuse me. Wnba leading this bench. Las Vegas bench players 7 for 7 from the floor with 5 assists. No turnovers. They have done their job. Deladon forced that turnover. Cloud bounced it off of McBride before she gathered. Cloud.
It's a big shot.
6-0. Washington run. Cloud's first points tonight. Wnba left wide open for 3. Left it short.
Washington doing a very good job cleaning up on the defensive glass.
Vegas had a 10-point lead just about a minute ago. Sanders cupped out. Niesemann turn around, and it's an 8-0 run. A 10-point lead trimmed to 2 very quickly by the Mystics. Timeout, Las Vegas.
Well, Washington looked like they were playing in sand to start this game, but they got a punch from Powers off of the bench, and now with their lineup back in, Deladon, high level of toughness, Cloud off of the drive, that's what she does. And here come the Washington Mystics.
A Washington offense that has been inconsistent throughout the first half, all of a sudden generating this momentum with an 8-0 run.
Yeah, they're hanging around, and that's key for them right now, you know, and they're getting a lot of it off the bounce, which is going to be very important for them.
And we saw Elena Deladon be really the only focal point. Scoring-wise, Liz Cambage has been a focal point for the Aces. We will see you at the half.
All right, John, and great to have Coach Agler in the studio. A couple of WNBA rings as a head coach for him, so he knows of what he speaks. Cambage right away off the timeout, but she missed, and Vegas in the paint now is just 6 of 15.
If you're Bill Lambier, because we know him and we've been in the gym with the Aces, it's inexcusable for Liz Cambage at 6'8" to miss the easy layup like that.
Niesman tried a tough reverse. Washington wanted the foul, but nothing called. This is 5-on-4 basketball. Liz hits from the outside.
You can do that. And if you're Washington, when you only got 4 defenders back, you'll give them a Liz Cambage 9-10 footer rather than letting her score down low.
Snaps an 8-0 Washington run. Tolliver with the fadeaway that she has perfected over her career, now in her 11th season out of Maryland.
The last thing you want to do is let Tolliver get her confidence. She struggled a little early, but going to the free throw line, I think, helped her.
Niesman got a hand on that.
And Asia's just got to take one dribble in, and she's got a wide open jump shot. You got to make Washington's defense pay for that. But going back to the transition game for Vegas, where they've been really great in this series, and no hesitation from Liz Cambage.
You're not going to see her pass up too many shots. Liz, however, just 4 of 10 from the floor. McBride with the long 2. Asia Wilson does not have a field goal yet tonight, just 2 points. Inside a minute to go now in the half. Niesman able to outreach Plum. Good defense by Plum. Cloud, big 3. Natasha Cloud nails one to cut the lead 2-1.
When they play that way, it makes it seem so simple. Ball just touches both sides of the floor, rotate it.
Plum off balance. Washington led the league in 3-point shooting this year, hitting over 9 a game. And now a timeout on the floor. Bill Lambier's team was up by 10, and now Washington will try to take the lead when we come back. Mike Thibault and the Washington Mystics trying for the second time to move on to the WNBA Finals. In back-to-back seasons, they were down by 10, LaChina Robinson, and now we got ourselves a 1-point ball game.
Well, we've talked about the fact that this is a very good road team. During the regular season, Washington thrived in their opponent's arena. But we didn't see that in game 3, and we didn't see that in the very beginning of this game. And Brian Agler said it, mental toughness, that Washington would have to show more toughness in this run. They have shown that.
Shot clock into single digits. Tolliver gets it over to Deladon, their best option, and Washington's on top. Shot clock is off for the Aces. McBride drives, lifts one, and the Mystics down 10, finish on a 16-4 run to take the lead into the locker room. Elena Deladon, spectacular.
It's the ball movement. Christy Tolliver whips that thing across the court, and Elena Deladon only needs a moment. And right now, she is with our Kim Adams.
Elena, what were the changes in the offense those final few minutes there to get back in this game?
We went to the big lineup because they went big. Emma had to come in, step step up for us, and we're still able to find spacing with the big lineup, which is huge.
And a balanced scoring attack for the Aces so far. What challenges have they presented defensively?
Everybody on the floor can score for them, so it's tough to pay attention to their bigs who are always attacking. We got another half. Got to be a little better.
All right, thanks so much, Elena.
Thank you.
16 first half points for the MVP. Washington up 2. As we invite you to stay tuned for the WNBA halftime report presented by State Farm. John Brickley joined by Brian Agler in the studio right after these messages. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Elena Deladon with 16 first half points. The Mystics leading the Aces by 2. If Washington wins, they're in the finals. If Agans wins, they'll play again on Thursday. Welcome back, Pam Ward, along with China Robinson. Kim Adams is with us as well. Washington was down by 10, and then things started to click.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Washington's offense in this series, but we really haven't seen that consistency in the ball movement that we saw in the regular season. But in those last few possessions, Washington was getting both sides of the floor, good spacing. They were attacking some off of the bounce with Cloud, but look at this pass by Tolliver. You make them pay for helping on that Emma Meeseman dive. That's what more of Washington needs to do, is ball movement, finding Elena Deladon, and then for the Las Vegas Aces, Asia Wilson, after a big game 3, only 2 points. We don't know what Bill Lambier is saying here, but they will definitely need more from her in the second half.
I believe he probably said shoot the ball.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah, 18 minutes, only 3 field goal attempts, and no assists. It's not like she was passing to open players who scored. Washington, no turnovers in the last 8 minutes of the half, and Tolliver gives them their biggest lead with the 3. Christie got off to a really slow start tonight after getting the start.
Yeah, she's made up for it in this stretch.
That was sweet by Jackie Young to get Sanders to fly by. Jackie Young, the overall #1 pick in the past draft, her first basket, and now Cloud in the paint.
And that's what Cloud has to do. To me, with her power and her size, you got to force the issue. Let the officials make a call, but get to the rack.
Liz Cambage doing her part. 9 first half points, but only 4 of 10 from the floor, including some uncharacteristic misses in the paint. Cloud doubles down, leaves Young open.
And she made him pay. Big shot by Jackie Young when the defense collapses.
Jackie Young, not known for her 3-point shooting, hit all 3 in game 3 and then hit that one. Tolliver off the back of the rim.
In my opinion, you still got to stunt at the shooter. Like, Jackie Young, you leave her wide open for a while. Like, you still got to try to recover, make her think about it.
Yeah, she was wide open and was able to nail the 3, but then Jackie threw it away on the other end.
I mean, Liz Cambage draws a double team, which she should, and then Young has all the time in the world to think about that shot, and she's starting to get more confidence in that outside shot as this series has gone on.
Yeah, only had 14 overall in the regular season. Has 4 in the last 2 games. Elena Deladon with the miss. Deladon hit all 4 of her 3s in the first half after missing 12 of 15 to begin the series. Cambage from the outside. We are tied up. Latoya Sanders, cross court, good save by Cloud. Natasha left wide open.
She has hit some big shots, more offensive minded.
Had a spectacular game too, 18 points and 11 assists, both career playoff highs for the 5th-year pro out of St. Joseph's. Sanders.
Right, Sanders, you got to respect the outside shot of Liz Cambage.
They're going to get Tolliver for a hit on Cambage. And Christie needs to be careful as she lets Byron Jarrett know she's not happy about that.
Well, take a look here. Tolliver's trying to get into a handoff situation. And it's hard to tell. Looked like Liz might have backed that right side into her, but it's hard to tell from that side. But Tolliver's asking for a review.
And they're going to go look at the monitors. Mai Forsberg over there with Byron Jarrett.
I don't see anything from that angle. I mean, it didn't look like Liz made contact with Christy Tolliver. Her elbow hit her head. Yeah, her elbow did hit her head.
Foul called on Tolliver, who appeared to grab a little bit of Liz as she went by, and there was a very infamous no call in the last game.
Yeah,
Emma Miesemann was called for a foul in which Cambage appeared to definitely make contact.
Yeah, and Liz made contact with Tolliver. She definitely sold the call, but there was contact to the head.
Sue Blau, who is the supervisor of officials in the WNBA, is in the building tonight.
I mean, we've seen some contact by Liz. That, to me, I can, can go either way if the officials call it or not. And this would be contact after the foul if anything is called on Cambage.
Again, the personal foul was called on Tolliver, which is her third.
It's like she grazed her ponytail, Pam. I don't know that she really... I've been hitting the ponytail before, but my hair's not that long. My ponytail's about this long right here.
Her ponytail did make a move. Here comes a clarification.
So the officials are saying that there is a common foul on Christy Tolliver, and that's it, which I'm okay with that. It was hard to tell if Liz Cambage actually touched Tolliver's head. There was no obvious contact to her head. Grazed her, probably.
McBride has it skip off. Jackie Young able to give him a fresh 14 on the shot clock. Cambage again, this time from 3, halfway down. Washington, for their last 5 field goals, have been from 3. Again, they were the best 3-point shooting team in the league. Highest scoring team in the league. Belladon took it right to Asia Wilson. That's off Cambage. So you have the highest scoring team in the league in Washington taking on a Vegas team that had the best field goal percentage defense all year long.
Well, and in this lineup, Asia Wilson has Elena Deladon full-time defensively, and that may be why she has not been as active on the offensive end. She's got her hands full, and I don't know if Vegas anticipated having to change up their lineups in that way. That could be quite a surprise that you're guarding the MVP.
Oliver, who just hit a floater, brings it down for Washington. Atkins passed up the 3. Deladon has it skip out. That's the first 3 that she has missed tonight. Hit her first 4 from out there. Plum, too much spin for the lefty.
No, we haven't seen playoff Plum towards the end of the first half. Wonder if she could get going either in her passing game here or even hitting shots, but she just has not looked the same and is not getting her post players the easy baskets as she did in game 3.
8 points and 2 assists for Plum. Cambage screaming for a foul, but instead they're just saying it's out of bounds off Washington.
There was just more fluidity to Vegas in game 3, and there's a lot of reasons, I'm sure, for that, but that's a good block there, avoiding the body contact by Latoya Sanders.
Sanders giving up about 5 or 6 inches to Cambage. Atkins and McBride are tangled up on the perimeter. And they're going to get Atkins her second.
And this is what Vegas can do. They can muck it up. They're very physical. I mean, yeah, you got to call that on Atkins. She was making contact with McBride before the cut.
We talked to Elena Deladon at practice yesterday. She said it was bully ball out there, very physical, and that Washington needed to be careful not to get too hung up on it. A foul before the inbound, and that's why McBride's at the line by herself. De'Erica Hamby, who has been absolutely terrific off the bench for the Aces this season, comes in for A'ja Wilson, who did not take a shot in the first 4 minutes. Again, has only taken 3 all game and has not hit a field goal.
Interesting inserting Hamby in and taking Wilson out. Usually Hamby will come in at the 3, but this is a smaller lineup for Washington as well.
Tolliver starting for Emma Mieseman tonight. A'ja, who was 7th in the league in scoring. There you see, way down.
Okay, Liz Cambage with the jump shot.
2-point lead now for Washington. Deladon guarded by Hamby, who is just a pest defensively. Tolliver hesitates, puts it up, and she got fouled.
Liz Cambage at 6'8" can use her feet on offense. She's got some mobility. Just beats the screening action and cuts to the basketball. I mean, her face-up game has looked really good. And if you're Liz, you're tired of the banging. If you can space the floor and knock down some jump shots, do that.
For the latest on all things WNBA playoffs, including scores, news, and highlights, get the WNBA app. Download it for free today from your app store. Washington, again, the best free throw shooting team in the league. Tolliver gets them both. Just the 4th foul called on Las Vegas, and the 2nd on the defensive side. Cloud, great play to force another turnover. Natasha Cloud was the most vocal player for Washington after Cambage's post-game comments on Sunday. She's a Philly kid. You're not going to...
That's right. You can't out-trash talk a Philly kid.
Tolliver! Acrobatic to the rim and drew another foul.
I'll tell you one of the things that's wrong with Kelsey Plum is Tolliver is attacking her. And I don't know that we've seen her go off the bounce this much since she's come back from that injury. And it looks like Plum just loses her footing. The foul was called on Hamby. But what an attack and an unexpected offense from Tolliver off the dribble.
Tolliver has 10 points in this quarter. And the last 7 points overall for the Mystics, who lead by 7.
And that means that they can get back and get their defense set.
Young trying to force the issue. Washington's gone 13 minutes now without turning the ball over, something that really hurt him in game 3. Tolliver, nice bounce pass to Sanders, but Hamby is all over her. That's off the mark. Timeout on the floor. Washington with Christy Tolliver having a good third quarter, up by 7.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by Exxon and Mobil's new Synergy Supreme Plus.
It's winning time, and I'm a winner, and I want to win. And, you know, that's when you have to show up and be the best version of yourself. And, you know, when health comes into play, that doesn't mean you're going to be who you were before, but if I can be the best version of myself now, you know, I think that's enough.
Well, Christy Tolliver got the start tonight after coming off of the bench the first 3 games of this series. She missed the last 6 weeks of the regular season, but one thing you can never question is her confidence and the winning mentality of Christy Tolliver. And what she has done, Washington Mystics only had 21 total assists in game 3. They've already got 18. And that's how they, 17, and that's how they generate their offense, is sharing the basketball. And Christy moves the ball well and understands the game.
Won a championship with Los Angeles. Brian Agler won a national championship with the University of Maryland in 2006. She's done some winning.
He has.
Sanders has picked up her 3rd.
I thought that Maryland was why maybe you didn't you're always happy when your Terps do well.
She did win a championship.
She did.
That is the first made field goal for A'ja Wilson on her first shot of the second half. Only her 4th shot of the game. How about Washington? Before Wilson hit that shot with their biggest lead of the game, and they have done that with Elena Deladon not scoring so far in this third quarter.
It's got to happen. I mean, Elena Deladon is the MVP, but everyone else has to do their part to stay active, and really just like the way Cloud and Tolliver are playing and taking some of that off of Elena Deladon's shoulders.
Last foul was on Cambage, her second. Tolliver is afraid of nobody. Step back. It went over Cambage in game 3. That one didn't go.
And Tolliver can hit that, but there's still got to be more ball movement. And that's a big shot by Plum.
Her first basket of the second half cuts the lead to 2. Another terrific crowd at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Southern end of the Strip in Las Vegas. Miesemann, Cooley hits the 3. Back-to-back career playoff highs in the first 2 games of the series at 27 and 30 points respectively, but only had 6 on Sunday. Hamby all the way across court, and Cloud read it.
Good defense by Washington.
Miesemann trying to post up McBride. But now Cambage comes over to help. Emma, tough turnaround off the back of the rim.
Washington starting to do a little standing.
Plum hits Tolliver, and it's on Christie. Tolliver now getting into foul trouble, has picked up her 4th.
And that's a big one.
And now, what was originally called a blocking foul. There was a 3-second violation called on Las Vegas before the foul.
Wow.
A huge break for Tolliver and the Mystics.
Saved. They're calling 3 seconds, I guess, on Liz Cambage in the middle of that lane. That's a huge call.
No look pass to Miesemann. Tolliver with the nifty assist.
Washington is getting into the paint. Moving to the ball and getting into the paint are the 2 places where they can have success.
Cambage and 1.
And this is just tough on Latoya Sanders. She is battling and doing the best she can at 6'2" and 6'8" Liz Cambage. And when she turns, she's got to kind of start to back up. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're not going to stand straight up, and it doesn't seem like she can really get that true vertical stance defensively, then you can't make contact.
She is out of the game now with 4 fouls, is Sanders. Powers comes in. Liz completes a 3-point play. Incredibly skilled player at 6'8". From Australia, 28 years of age. Deladon still without a bucket in this third quarter. Now playing defense on Hamby, who took it right to her and scored on the follow.
Never stops working, De'Erica Hamby.
Lead again, cut to 2.
What a pass.
Miesemann decided not to shoot, and now a travel. And the Aces turning it up. Cambage yells in the crowd.
And you can see Deladon giving Mike Tebow a thumbs up, because Tebow was saying, shoot the basketball. Got 2 great shooters on the same side of the floor and 1 too many passes.
First turnover for Washington in 16 minutes. But now the Aces can tie it or take the lead.
What a play by Powers. That's what you got to do. You got to dig in early against Cambage. When she doesn't have 2 feet the paint, that is your chance to get in and disrupt her. Right here, Powers doesn't hesitate. She goes right for the ball. Sees her put it on the floor. But the key is, can you keep her out of the paint in the first place? Because digging in that way, it does not work as well when she's down low with 2 feet in.
Wow, Powers jumped and almost got to it. Shot clock at 5. Plum recognized it. Good defense by Deladon.
And that's what you got to do if you're Elena Deladon. Make Kelsey Plum hit that layup under duress.
Powers found space. Tamara Young, who gave them a nice shot in the arm in the first half, gives it to Hamby. Vegas back on top. Time out, Washington. 8-0 Aces run.
Here come the Las Vegas Aces, just outworking the defense. Hamby, tough, but can knock down the outside shot.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Dearica Hamby doing her part off the bench as the Mystics' 7-point lead has disappeared. Vegas wins this. Game 5 will be Thursday night in Washington. The Mystics win it, it's all over, and they will host Game 1 of the finals against Connecticut on Sunday. Most of the crowd on their feet in Vegas. Tolliver will get them to sit down momentarily at least.
All season long, Las Vegas has been better when Dearica Hamby is on the floor. And no question, they are tougher when she's on the court.
3 missed by McBride, who is just 2 of 9 tonight. Deladon cradles it. Lost the ball going up. Vegas says it's theirs, but it stays with Washington.
Elena Deladon taking the ball to the rim. Very good decision. Again, Washington has to try to get a piece of the paint, get to the free throw line, stay aggressive. Good defense by Ty Young.
15 seconds to shoot as they inbounded it. Tolliver, a lot of dribbling, hits the deck, and now a 3-on-0.
Turnovers.
Tolliver doing a lot of dribbling in traffic. Couple of seconds difference between the two clocks. What a game, what a series this has been. Cloud guarded by McBride. Niesemann back to Cloud. Too short, but Powers with the chance, but blew it to end the third quarter. Las Vegas ended on a 10-2 run. The Aces up 1.
Action-packed going both ways, but the Las Vegas Aces have all the momentum. Who has the juice? We'll find out in the fourth quarter.
Aces head coach Bill Lambier. Coach, what allowed you guys to really get the energy back up in those final few minutes?
Just will. I made a substitution, put Hamby and Ty in the game, and picked up the energy.
And another back and forth one in this series. What will it take in this final 10 minutes to get the win?
The same energy. Don't get many second shots and run the floor.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Liz Cambage, 16 points, 10 rebounds, another playoff double-double for her. Washington's bench being outscored 20-15 in this game after they led the league in bench scoring during the regular season. But Coach is right, Tamara Young and Dearica Hamby have just been beasts off the bench.
Yeah, Tamara Young has really been an X factor. I mean, you know what Hamby can do off of the pine, but at 6 foot, Tamara Young can be a tough matchup. She has a high release on that jump shot and is a decent defender as well.
WNBA playoffs continue. If the Aces win tonight, Game 5 from Washington Thursday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. WNBA finals begin Sunday at 3 Eastern. Either Connecticut or Washington will be hosting that. So stay tuned. Tamara, 1 for 2 from the line.
Congratulations to the Connecticut Sun, Kurt Miller, that whole entire organization, Amber Cox. What an exciting team to watch right now. So much confidence.
Elena Deladon's first points of the second half. She had 16 in the first half, but went 0 for 4 from the floor in the third quarter, and we're tied again.
Deladon has to touch the ball. I mean, she absolutely has to touch the basketball. In my opinion, every time down the floor, it has to touch her hands.
Best player in the league this year, the MVP. Niesemann bottled up. dribbling. There's the ball movement to Cloud for three. A little bit too strong. Deladon chases it down. Now having trouble finding a target. Miesemann got it. Big, big three after Washington looked to be in trouble on that possession.
And really big shot.
Miesemann has hit both of her threes tonight. She has a dozen after being limited to only 6.
And Miesemann stuck with their responsibility of battling with Liz Cambage because LaToya Sanders is on the bench. And we saw how that went the other night. Miesemann not used to guarding a big 6'8" physical player like Cambage, and she just eats him alive. The and ones are what kill you if you're Mike Thibault.
That was one of his biggest concerns coming in.
Sanders is going to get ready to check into the game. And we will see how mobile LaToya Sanders is, because she looked like she rolled her ankle right before she went out of the game on that possession.
Lena Deladon with the three over Cambage. Wnba wearing the purple sneakers tonight for Vegas. Young driving right by Miesemann. A little bit too strong. That's off Cambage. And now Sanders coming back in, and you referenced it that LaToya did roll her ankle.
Yeah, right here, right there. Left ankle. With 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, right before she went to the bench.
Asia Wilson back in the game, coming in for Tamara Young. And pardon me, the last possession, the ball did not go off of Liz according to the officials, so 14 seconds to shoot for the Aces. Asia Wilson tonight, just 4 points. And now they're going to go and see if there was, if the last shot hit the rim. And you're talking about the and ones, and we talked about how Mike Thibault, the head coach for Washington, was so concerned. That last one by Liz was her third three-point play of the night with and ones.
It's like a three-pointer, because you don't want to go 2s for 3s, which Washington can be a high-volume three-point shooting team. So those and ones really count.
Good rebound for Wilson. Cloud takes it away from McBride. Oliver clicks it back to Miesemann. Washington, if they hit from 3 like this, Vegas is in trouble. That is one of the best things about this offense, is their proficiency from behind the line. Seven-point lead matches Washington's biggest of the night. They led for a few minutes by 7 in the third quarter. The Erica Hamby does it again.
Boy, Hamby has saved Vegas on both ends of the floor. And let's see. Yeah, Liz Cambage under the basket pushed LaToya Sanders in the back. The basket counts.
That is a third foul on Cambage. The ball was in the air when Cambage ran into Sanders.
Right, so they did call a foul on Cambage, but the basket stays.
Oliver to Miesemann.
Oh boy, oh boy.
That is the Miesemann we saw in the first 2 games. Emma's hit all 4 of her threes tonight. Now Cambage, little turnaround, simple as that. Cambage has been magnificent in this series. 21 points, 12 rebounds tonight. Double-double machine in the playoffs. Oliver looks up at the shot clock at the other end of the floor. Miesemann is the hot hand, feeder, and she is at the 20-point mark. King James and Anthony Davis among the NBA players here. And another foul on Sanders, this time fouling Cambage, taking the jumper.
Emma Miesemann, what a personal run. It's because she's moving without the ball. Look at her. Spotting up, you know Christy Tolliver will find you. And how about that fake? Just a little pump fake as if she was going to pass it. The defense leaves her. No one coming out of the paint because they're helping on the drive. Vegas is really loading up on the drive and not getting out to shooters. And that's where Washington was able to hurt them offensively to start this series.
Washington 13 of 26 from 3, 50%. Latoya Sanders has just been called for her 5th personal foul.
Boy, Liz Cambage has been a monster in this game. She started off missing some easy baskets, and one thing Liz told us is she said sometimes she performs better when there's pressure. You know, we asked her about the build-up. She said, game 1, I was soft. Kelsey Plum told me, listen, you were soft in game 1. She said, game 2, I got a little more momentum. In game 3, I played my game because it was a winner-go-home situation. And she's in that situation again and showing up for her team.
Vegas 13 of 14 from the line. Sanders out with the 5 fouls. Tough shot for Tolliver, and nothing but black jerseys under the basket for the rebound.
And Tolliver has taken some tough shots.
So now Miesemann tries to stop Cambage. Hamby all over the glass. Erica Hamby's miracle shot against Chicago kept their season alive.
They're trying to get Miesemann in some space because Cambage is guarding her.
Powers couldn't corral the rebound, but she was fouled. Washington becoming a jump shooting team, up 3. Timeout on the floor.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. The Mystics not only have the best record in the league, but when they won by a lot of points, setting the record for the biggest win differential in points. And during the regular season, 5 points or fewer, they lost every game. The only time they won a game by 5 points or fewer was in game 1 of this playoff series against Vegas. So they're not used to tight games, and we have a tight one here. Tolliver with the miss. Hamby has had a heck of a game. That's her 8th rebound to go along with 18 points and 5 assists off the bench. Liz short. Deladon, good defense that time.
Good job by Elena using her size there on Cambage.
Inside 5 minutes to go. Washington trying to get a spot in the finals for the 2nd straight year. That was an incredible play by Deladon to make that catch.
Moving without the ball. When Washington doesn't stand and watch, they're a much better offensive team.
Gets the lead back to 5. Miesemann and Cambage battling on the left block. Liz unguarded for a second, but it didn't matter because they were able to get the outside shot from Tamara Young.
And that is all because of Liz Cambage drawing attention, but Young is ready to knock it down.
Miesemann has not missed from the floor in this quarter until right now. Quickly down the floor, Young.
Hamby and Young. Hamby and Young. Wow, the energy.
And it's the bench of Washington that scored the most points in the regular season, but Vegas's bench has been electric in this game. Cloud, good closeout by Young. Tolliver left open. Has it rim out, but Powers was able to get good inside position on Plum.
And it looks like Christy Tolliver took her knee brace off that she was playing with.
She has indeed. Tolliver coming back from the 5-week absence due to a bone bruise. Cambage around Miesemann, who thought she got hooked. Boy, there's some tired basketball players out there right now.
They gotta be.
Great action. Cloud. Well off. Vegas can take the lead as we hit 3 minutes to go. All the way across court. Young guarded by Aerial Powers. They continue to feed Cambage. Miesemann with a big block on Cambage. Powers puts her head down and was fouled by Young. 2 minutes and 39 seconds. What a finish coming your way from Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas. The Aces have had some thrilling finishes. None more so than this.
The best game winner I've seen live in my entire life. It will go down in WNBA history. And let's not forget about this close game. Kelsey Plum trying to make a play down the stretch. I still think Elena Deladon fouled, Pam, but we're going to move on. He moved on from that.
Yeah, Bill Lambier was more upset that he did not get the timeout he was calling for. I mean, Hamby, look at that line. Where'd she go to school?
Incredible.
Wake Forest?
Yes, she did.
Goodness gracious. Hamby and Tamara Young have combined for 29 points and 12 assists off the bench.
And a lot of it is hustle. It's second chance opportunities. It's knocking down your open shots. She's not doing anything fancy. She just outworks her opponent night in and night out, and that's why she's the 6th Woman of the Year.
She admits that's why she's in the league. 1 point advantage for Washington, trying to close this out. Deladon, smooth.
Against a shorter defender and Tamara Young. Now the matchups are more balanced. When Liz Cambage had to guard Emma Miesemann, it was trouble. Sanders back in the game. Deladon has a small defender on her at the 3.
Cambage does not go right after Sanders, who has 5 fouls. Plum got the roll. Inside 2 minutes to go. Washington with the 1 point lead. Shot clock getting skinny. Elena Deladon missed the layup. Vegas trying to get back on top. They're trying to get it into Liz. Hamby, what a play, but she could not convert. That was a tough shot, though, trying to get it on the other side of the basket. Oh, my.
I thought Hamby should have took that first open jump shot. She had been knocking that down.
Tolliver way off.
That is not the offensive possession you want if you are the Washington Mystics. Christy Tolliver has forced the action on a number of possessions in this game.
1 minute, inside 1 minute now. The double now, triple team. Miesemann with her 3rd block of the night.
Some tough, low block defense by the Washington Mystics when they needed. And what a ball game. The Mystics and the Aces giving us all that we can handle this hot girl summer.
If Las Vegas wins this game, Game 5 in Washington Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Connecticut Sun, they're back watching. It's getting late, but wondering who they're going to play.
That's right, doing a little scouting.
On Sunday, that will be game 1 of the finals. Pam Ward, LaTonna Robinson, Kim Adams joining you in a terrific ball game. 11 seconds to shoot. Vegas down 1.
They're going to try to, I'm sure, get it to Liz Cambage at some point.
Guarded again by Sanders, who's got 5 fouls. Shot clock winding down. No good by Plum. Washington now with a 3rd opportunity to extend the lead to at least 3. Miesemann does it! Huge shot by Emma Miesemann. 22 points off the bench. 13 of the 22 in this quarter.
Coming off a screen, Asia Wilson gets stuck. And what a screen by Christy Tolliver. And ice cold Wnba on the play before. Plum didn't have enough time to work into Liz Cambage. Not a great offensive possession on the last one by Vegas, but they only had 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and Plum had to miss.
Yeah, can't give up a three. We'll give up a one-on-1 two against Cambage, and then they're going to try to foul us, all right? Both teams have a foul to give. So if you catch it, I don't want you to use the foul, but if you get a tough situation, if you have to, you have to make them take it out. All right? We have 2 timeouts, so after, if they score 2, and we can't get it jumping in, we'll take a timeout. All right? But you can't give up a 3, and you can't get pump faked into a foul. No and ones. Together, 1, 2, 3, together.
Mike Tebow addressing his team in that timeout, saying no threes and don't go for the pump fake on the three-point play inside, something that's hurt him. He also told his team, both teams have foul to give. We have 2 timeouts. So running the bases on everything in that timeout with his team and get them ready for this defensive possession.
Las Vegas during the regular season had the best three-point percentage in the league. They are 7 of 15 from distance tonight. Kayla McBride just 1 of 5. She's over on the right wing for the Aces. Hamby throws it in. Wow, guarding McBride. Cambage takes it right to Sanders, and that will foul Sanders out. Byron Jarrett saying that Sanders tripped up Cambage.
Liz Cambage making an aggressive move to the basket. Ooh, it looked like Cambage just lost her footing. Take a look. It looked like Liz Cambage just lost her footing there. Unless she actually tripped over Sanders' toe.
Washington did have a foul to give, but that was a fortunate play for Vegas. They get the bucket, and now Washington with under 18 seconds to go. Plum called for the foul almost instantaneously. They did have a foul to give, and now a timeout taken. But Kelsey Plum with the driving basket makes it a 1-point game. Washington with the ball. They took the timeout.
She got it out. This is Elena. This is AP. This is AP. Emma. KT. AP, you're going to the backcourt. We're not throwing it there. All right? Emma, go over the top of Elena and let her step. Elena, you're going here because she's coming here, coming back to the ball. Got to get it in as a post-up. We're going to go over your back. They might try to trap you the first time. All right? It's bonus now. All right? If you can't get it in, take the timeout. Here we go. Together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Mike Tebow telling his team there at the end, if you can't get it in, take a timeout. But going over strategy in terms of getting the ball in, he's going to have Natasha Cloud take it out. The important thing, Pam, and all I keep thinking about was the Chicago game. Coming back to the basketball if you're the Washington Mystics. Cutting hard.
Both Cambage and Asia Wilson are out for Las Vegas. Colson put in, fouls Tolliver, who is an excellent free throw shooter. 13.9 seconds left to go. Both teams in the bonus. Christy Tolliver, 5 for 5 from the line tonight. Asia Wilson and Liz Cambage coming back in to play offense for Vegas. Tolliver with a huge shot to try to give him a 3-point lead, which she does. Aces take their final timeout. And Bill Lambier tries to draw up a play that will at least tie this game What a series this has been. Washington, the #1 overall seed, but Vegas with the #4 seed. This is a great series, great finish. How do you think Vegas will play it?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the way the game has gone so far, the last possession for Vegas, they were trying to get the ball to McBride and probably get her a three-point look. And she's their best three-point shooter, you know, but I think Kelsey Plum cannot forget about her offense in this situation. And they got to be ready to rebound if the shot goes up early.
Kayla McBride has missed 4 of her 5 threes tonight. Kelsey Plum, part of the reason why the Aces are the best three-point shooting team in the league. Sugar Rogers also comes in.
And keep in mind, Vegas could also go for a quick one and extend the game. They don't have to try to get a three.
Asia Wilson is actually not in the game. Cam Beige is. So McBride, Rogers, Plum, all really good three-point shooters.
But they don't have to get a three.
Defense on the perimeter. McBride bottled up by Miesemann. Hamby steps back, in and out. Cloud gets the rebound. De'Erica Hamby, who had the miracle three to beat Chicago. Not quite.
Again, Vegas did not have to take a three. There was time. They could have got an easy one, whatever came first, and then tried to foul and extend the game. But that's a good look for Hamby. I mean, she had a look on the first one, took the step back. She's been knocking down that long ball.
Cloud's first free throw of the night. Bounces it in. Hamby had hit 2 of 3 threes before that one. It was almost in, but not quite good enough. And the Washington Mystics, for the 2nd straight season, are headed to the WNBA Finals. They will host Connecticut on Sunday. Elena Deladon, the most valuable player, getting some great support. Emma Miesemann almost unstoppable in the 4th quarter.
I mean, Emma Miesemann, to me, was the difference maker down the stretch for the Mystics. Just her ability to knock down wide open shots, ice cold in moments where she should have felt pressure. When you look at the stretch of this series, which went 4 games, you got to say that Emma Miesemann was the difference maker consistently.
Emma Miesemann coming off the bench in favor of Christy Tolliver, who went back into the starting lineup. 22 points, 18 of them in the 2nd half. And the Washington Mystics will have home court advantage in the finals, taking on a Connecticut team as Natasha Cloud takes the push-ups, countering the weight room comment by Cam Beige.